Suzette, back from New York City. First time in New York or no?
No, that's my second time in New York.
Okay, so you were there to go see the movie Shaft. You got to interview Samuel L. Jackson. How was the whole experience?
I just love New York. Like, every time I go, I have a blast just seeing everybody walking the streets. You know what I mean? It's just so busy, and I love that lifestyle. But when I flew to New York, I watched the first Shaft. Not the one in the 70s, but the one that came out in 2001.
With Samuel Jackson.
Yes. And I was like, okay, this movie's all right. You know, I was expecting a little more. So when I saw this one, the new one that's coming out on Friday, I was so impressed. Like, it's really, really good. I love when the theater is all laughing together, all just kind of like having a blast, and that's how it was. Richard Roundtree's in it, and he's just like this super dope guy. Like, he just walks in and owns the room. So
he's the first Shaft.
Yes, the one from the 70s,
Really? He's the
right?
one from the 70s. So I think the way it's set up is like third generation. There's Grandpa Shaft, then there's Samuel Jackson Shaft, and there's the grandson Shaft.
Right.
Right, okay.
And Regina Hall is the mom.
Okay.
And she's just hilarious. Like,
Right.
and that's how she is in person, too.
But
so that was
forget about the
amazing.
movie, though. Your experience in New York. You got to talk. You sat across with Samuel Jackson. Like, right? What was that like?
So what we did was, it wasn't one-on-one interviews. It was these roundtable interviews. And they told us, okay, one question each person. So I'm like, all right, cool. So it's going to be like one person asks a question, then this person, and just, you know, take turns. But it was more so like a discussion, and everybody was jumping in. There was a little bit of, you know, talking over each other. But Samuel Jackson was amazing. Like, I was so afraid to meet him because I really like him. I'm like, Nick Fury, come on.
Yeah, for
and
real.
I was like, I don't want him to be a jerk. I don't want to hate him. No, he was so much fun. He was laughing. He was cracking jokes. Jesse T. Usher was super fun, too. Richard Roundtree was, the first time, there was two groups. He went with group one, and he didn't say anything. Like, they asked him questions, and he would just nod his head. And Samuel Jackson would be like, want me to answer that for you? And he would say yes. So you can tell he just didn't want to be there. And then we were group two, and he was talking to us, and I was like, oh, that's the goal. We got Richard Roundtree to talk. So that was fun. And then we had Regina Hall and Alexandra Shipp, which is Storm in the new movie, X-Men. And they were fun. Everybody's fun. The last interview we did was with Tim Story, and that's the director. And
Did you ask Samuel Jackson anything? Did you say anything?
We
to him?
asked.
No,
we
you,
all.
you.
Yeah, I don't know, but we all asked like 3 or 4 questions.
What did you ask?
Oh man, I'm trying to think of what I asked. I asked him if, I know that they get a lot of movies that they turn down, and I asked all 3 of them if there's, how do you know which movie's for you? Like, how do you know which movie to turn down, which one you want to be part of? So they all talked about that. And then I asked them if there was any movies that they regret not being part of.
That's good.
Yeah, and I also asked privately, when we were all done, I asked Samuel Jackson if because him and Harrison Ford go back and forth being on #1, like the all-time highest box office star. He's like $5.7 billion right now, and he just beat Harrison Ford with Avengers. And I asked him if he called him this last time he beat him, and he's like, he cussed, obviously, but he's like, you best believe I called him. Yeah, I let him have it. And I was just laughing because I wasn't able to squeeze that question in.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, and I was laughing, and I was like, and we didn't let us take like individual pictures.
Oh, yeah, the one I saw of you guys, it looks like you guys are having a blast.
Oh, yeah, I was going to get a picture with Samuel Jackson. I was like, I'm not going to let you guys tell me what to do. So I looked at him, and I'm like, Nick Fury, I got to take a picture with you. And he started laughing, so I, took a picture with him real quick. And with Jesse T. Usher and Regina Hall. It was just, it was so much fun.
I saw you hanging out with a bunch of people. So what did you do in New York?
So the first day we just saw the movie screening at night. And then we had to be up at 6 in the morning the next day they said that they were going to take us around the neighborhood, and then we were going to go eat, and then we were going to do the roundtable discussions with the actors. So we went to this, I really don't know where we were at, but they had the car that comes out in the movie.
Yeah, but forget about the movie stuff. Did you ever have any alone time? Did you go to New York? Did you see the Statue of Liberty? Did you walk around Times Square?
We had no time.
You didn't go to Times Square? You didn't hang
I've been there before. The first time I went to New York, I got to see Times Square, Empire State, and Rockefeller. I got to see those places. But this time there wasn't really any.
You had no free time?
No. We probably had an hour, and we walked around Times Square, and I took the subway. That was the first time I ever took the subway, and that was the goal this trip.
Anything weird on the subway?
No. It It was just more so like everybody looking sad and tired after work. Yeah. I was like, oh.
Depressing.